digital tools to modernize and boost the artisanal sector in the country. This was during the opening ceremony of the 8th edition of the International Handicrafts Fair in Cameroon. Dr. Siak, the PM, presided over the launch on behalf of the head of state, Paul Biya. At least 488,000 children of school-going age are reported to still be out of school as a result of the persistent armed conflict rocking the northwest and southwest regions of the country. The statistics was revealed in an official release published by the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, in Yaoundé. The Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obam, has called for the acceleration in setting up the information technology IT system in the management of local and regional finances, dubbed SIMBA. The minister made the call while chairing the second ordinary session of the National Committee on Local Finances, known in its French acronym as CONAFIL, for the 2024 financial year. The government has, through the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training, MINIFOP, hailed the National Hydropower Company, NHPC, for their unyielding and commendable efforts in promoting employment and strengthening vocational training in the country. The positive remarks were made by MINIFOP boss Issa Choroma Bakari. Meantime, projects executed in Meme Division with funding from the 2024 Public Investment Budget, PIB, are said to have the least execution rate as compared to other divisions in the southwest region. The information was disclosed in Kumba on Tuesday during the second quarter divisional follow-up committee meeting of PIB-funded projects in the Meme division of the restive southwest region. We talk something completely different and go to one of our major lead stories today. The Bakure people of the southwest region have applauded an initiative which has been implemented by His Royal Highness and Paramount Chief of Limbe, John Elufa Manga Williams, who has handed or included the learning of the Mokpe language in schools during the holidays, according to Hansel Monolyunga Malange, an employee of the regional delegation of youth affairs in Boya. This initiative goes a long way to preserve the Bakure culture. Listen to him in the following excerpt.
Delegation. My impression concerning this political classes organized by the Royal Chiefdom of Limbe is I'm very, very grateful because if you look around, you realize that the family tradition, most of us do not even know how to talk the language. We don't know. But now, I'm very happy that at least some of those our brothers and sisters who know the language want to at least they want to teach the younger ones so that they should grow with it and they don't want our culture to lose. So the one at least continue. I'm very, very happy. I'm happy with what the Royal Chiefdom of Limbe have done, and I wish and pray that they should continue. Every hospital should continue to do that. We are behind them. We always support them. As a parent, I would say they should always learn to send their children whenever there's an opportunity like this, so that the tradition should not lose. Tradition is culture, and culture that gives the society. There's no society without a tradition or culture, so we should not allow, not only the Bakurians, all traditions, if they have this opportunity, they always send their children there, that they should learn their language, their tradition, their dressing code, food, gastronomy, everything that concerns their culture. It's not something, the white man, we know that they are living their life, they maintain their tradition. When you go there, you realize that they still keep their tradition. So we like that our tradition should stay.
That was Hansel Monolyunga Malange, an employee of the regional delegation of youth affairs in Boya, speaking there. Opposition Member of Parliament Jean-Michel Ninche has called on President of Cameroon Paul Biya to resign, arguing that President Biya has consistently violated the constitution. Meantime, Professor Maurice Kamto has warned his party militants sternly, advising them to stay clear of any involvement with President Biya's government. Kamto alleged that the regime is employing various strategies to destabilize The CRM and tarnish his reputation in an effort to hinder his candidature for the 2025 presidential elections. The demand for the release of 23-year-old Junior Gombe, currently detained at the State Secretariat Defense of said, is gaining momentum. Gombe was forcibly taken from his residence in Douala on Thursday, July 25th, by said agents without a warrant or official notice. The illegal arrest, which occurred under questionable circumstances, is believed to be linked to Gombe's vocal criticisms of the regime and his calls for extensive voter registration ahead of 2025 presidential elections. Popular Cameroonian comic content creator Mr. Nze has secured his first movie role playing as a barrister. Film director Achiri Victor discovered his potential and cast him in 2 movies under Brunhilde SK TV. The movies will soon be available on YouTube. And we talk something completely different just to give updates on Laura, which we talked about yesterday. The ambulance came in from Bamenda around 2:30 a.m. Early morning. They were set to leave, but after dressing of her wounds, her parameters revealed concerning levels of temperature and the blood. The nurse from Bamenda assisted in stabilizing her situation as she was giving blood, and once the situation stabilized, moved into the ambulance. The doctor of the clinic won't give the treatment history booklet, and this is what is being said about the updates on Laura, who was ill-treated at a popular hospital in Yaoundé. Also, we talk something completely different and onto a major lead story. 2 children memories, 6 and Ngwenyo 8 years old, have perished in a fire incident at the Bonge Road in Kumba on the night of Sunday, July 28 rather, 2024. A house with 4 rooms constructed with makeshift materials was engulfed by flames from an unknown origin at about 11 p.m. They were living in one of the rooms with their mother and 2 other siblings who escaped. Around 11, it is said that around 11, they heard people shouting fire, fire, and stepped outside to just see neighbors and the rooms being ravaged. That is what the mother of the children reiterated. And she also says that her sons were trying to escape through the window, and it was terrifying. The aggrieved woman who survived with burns on her hand narrated that it was one of her children who alerted her about the incident. The remains of the 2 children were gathered in 2 bags to be interred in their native Bekondo village, where the family hails from. And it should be noted that the deceased boy memory was on holiday with his aunt and siblings in that part of the country. Meantime, a man has also died after collapsing in the course of an encounter at the school field of GBPS Bamisinge Tumaka in the Mbuda subdivision of the West region. The tragic incident happened in the evening hours of Sunday, July 28, 2024, at halftime of an encounter in which he was playing. According to locals, Jemanus, who hails from the northwest region of Cameroon, suddenly collapsed and gave up the ghost on his way to a healthy facility where he was being transported. According to medics, the 30-year-old suffered a heart attack. He worked at the fueling station of the locality, and he leaves behind his wife and his 1-year-old son, family members, colleagues, and friends to mourn. That is what was said about this particular young man. Meantime, we talk something completely different. A workshop was organized to improve on the quality and quantity of fishery products in Limbe, which have been on a decline. And the project aims to actually upgrade a strategy of shrimp value chain in this part of the country. This was reiterated by a doctor of fishing and aquaculture, who is none other but Mr. Guy Rene Mimbang, who spoke to us in the following excerpt.
And German Federation of DMZ Cameroon. The project was launched in 2021, and the project is targeting the large shrimp value chain that we call currently community gamas. And you know that these are main shrimp fish resource export that are exported abroad. And then Cameroon is getting foreign resources from those exports. Fish Wassape now is aiming, we contributed to the strategy, the operating strategy of that shrimp value chain. It has come up with 3 axes, and within axis number 1, which is sustainable fisheries, we are implementing now one activity, the Observer Program, which is a strategic tool, a management strategic tool that contributes to traceability of fishing operations at sea. So observers are witnesses of the government on board of fishing vessels, and we expect and we encourage the industry to accept them on board of fishing vessels because they are not there to control them. They are just there to collect data that they, captain of vessel, are not collecting. So they should not be taken like they are controlling them in what they are doing. This is the purpose of the training. This is why also the observers are trained. The training started on Monday and the training will finish on Friday. The observers were trained on the way to collect data, how to collect those data, how to behave on board of fishing vessel to avoid any embarrassment with the captain of the vessel, who is the main authority on board of the vessel. So that's personnel from INEPIA. That activity is already in the law, the fisheries law, and its decree. So we are just implementing what is in the decree. So it's first INEPIA personnel that are already trained in fisheries and so on, that are on board of vessels.
That was the Director of Fishery and Aquaculture, Guy Rene Mimbang, who spoke to us here on CAM1 Radio. On to our international page. 2 children were killed and 9 injured in a knife attack at a dance class in the northern England town of Southport. Police have also reiterated on this particular point and stressed on the issue, and 2 adults were also wounded in the course of action. Meantime, the United States is calling on the Venezuelan government to immediately release specific data regarding its presidential elections, citing concerns about the credibility of strongman leader Nicolas Maduro's victory. Former BBC News presenter Hugh Edwards has been charged with 3 counts of making indecent images of children. London's Metropolitan Police said the charges were related to images allegedly shared on WhatsApp. South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma has been expelled from the African National Congress, the party he once led. In the meantime, Israeli attacks kills at least 19 Palestinians, including children, and injured numerous across Gaza on Sunday, according to health officials and Gaza's civil defense. We'll talk sports in this edition of the news. Team USA finished on top of the women's gymnastics qualifying scores Sunday, putting them in a confident position ahead of Tuesday's medal roundup at the Olympic Games in Paris. Meantime, it may have been a bronze medal, but it was celebrated in the stands like it was a gold when Brazilian superstar Raíssa Leal struck her all-important final trick of the women's street skateboarding final at the Paris Olympics. A deafening roar went up from the many green and gold clad fans watching on there in Paris. The US men's gymnastics team took home its first medal since 2008, capturing bronze in the final. Japan won gold in the dramatic competition. And it is with that sports note that we end this edition today of the news on the recap of our stories today. We'll give you a recap of our stories today just to tell you more about what we actually talked about today on the news. Just to say that today we had stories concerning the Mokpe traditional language in Limbe, which is the Bakuri people who are the custodians of the Fako division of the Restive Southwest region. We also discussed about a tragic incident in the Southwest region where 2 kids were dead as a result of an inferno in Bongero there in Kumba. Also, the preservation of maritime and fishing activities is also something which was on our agenda today. We also spoke about things which have to do with the Olympic Games in the country and across the world as the Paris Olympics Games is ongoing in France. That's the recap of the stories we had today on CAM1 Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your keen attention and please continue listening to more programs on this particular network. I'll always reiterate the frequency is 99.5 FM and this is the People's Radio. For presentation, I was Ekome Charles Abane. See you tomorrow, same time, same place on this network. Bad or wrong.